Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
I'm your host, Devin.
And I'm your host, Kendra.
We are real moms.
Sharing real experiences. The things people don't tell you. Mama, hey.
Hey, mama.
What's up, friend?
The sky.
The sky has been up for you.
Because I'm trying to work on. I'm so excited.
Let me see. What other adjectives can we use to describe our day? It's a fabulous day. We have a fabulous person here.
Sure do. Yeah, look at her. She's so
I
cute.
know.
She look cute for y'all.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, meanwhile, we have on sweatshirts.
She didn't give us the memo.
And jeans and sneakers.
I need one of those sweatshirts before I leave.
Okay.
You have any?
We're going to put some in the mail for you.
Okay.
Yes.
So let us introduce y'all to the voice that's on the Mama Pod.
Yes.
So we have Brittani Kills here.
She kills.
Yeah, she does. She kills. And Brittani went to FAMU with us. And as long as I've seen Brittani, known Brittani, she has always had this fabulous persona about her.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
You have.
Girl,
I want you to know that.
fabulous.
And she, again, FAMU Rattler, y'all know we're heavy on the Rattler vibes. Retired CPA, I guess we should say, retired accountant. And when we'll get further into why I say retired. And she's just so great. Like she has a son. I'm gonna let Brittani tell her story. But welcome, Brittani.
Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
Excited to be here with you, ladies. I love what you guys are doing with the podcast, and of course, I follow and try to keep up. So I'm super excited to be here.
We do the same for you guys.
Yes, girl.
We
She
do.
was even a mama crush one time.
She was.
Yeah,
You were.
I love those.
Yes.
Keep those spotlights because I followed a couple of the mamas that you guys post that I did.
really?
Yeah, I do. So definitely keep posting it.
I love
I
that.
love that.
I do. I love that. That's the whole purpose of the Real Mama Pod is to build this community because we need each other.
We really do.
We do because
It's tough out here.
and all of us are boy moms.
Yeah.
So have a
We really are.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's not
so that's another episode.
Yeah,
Yes.
so being a whole
Boy mama life.
Yeah.
And I know Anyway,
yeah.
we're gonna move on.
Talk about us. So, Brittani, briefly tell us about your journey to motherhood.
Ooh, okay. So my journey to motherhood was a little bit unexpected. I had a pandemic baby.
Okay.
But it's interesting. It's something I don't think I've probably shared outside of my family or friends. But my son, he was not planned per se, which is perfectly fine. Me and my partner, we were super, super happy when we found out that we were expecting. But for me, it was really a shock because I, for no reason at all, just always thought that when it came time to actually have a child, that I might have trouble conceiving. That it was just in my mind for some reason. Probably because due to age, also, like I haven't been on birth control since my early 20s, like 21, just because I don't like to put extra stuff in my body if it's not necessary, right? And all the hormones and all of that. And I've just never had a scare ever in life. Like, not that I was actively trying because I wasn't. I just had never had any sort of scare, anything like that. And I've never had any health issues, but for whatever reason, I just had it in my back of my mind that when it came time, and I was going to have to do extra planning.
Right.
And I mean, I had been in relationships for 4 years, 5 years, and again, not trying, but nothing, you know. And then, I meet my son's dad, and a year later, it's like, wait a minute. So it was a complete surprise. I actually conceived on my birthday.
Wow.
So my birthday's in September. I conceived in 2020. We had been on lockdown pretty much all year, and we hadn't gone anywhere. We hadn't did anything. September came around, it was starting to, lighten up, and places were starting to open back up. And my son's dad was like, hey, your birthday's coming up. Let's just kind of do something. We had been in the house for months. And so we went to Chateau Elan for my birthday. They must have sprinkled something in the water. Because 2 weeks later, we found out that we brought a little something extra back with us. So
From the chateau.
So if y'all go up there, you might
come back home with a baby.
With something. So he's been a complete blessing.
That's awesome. I think that's another word I use a lot too.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyways, so we forgot to share it. Brittani is an influencer now.
I am.
And we're in this world of social media, and I feel like a lot of people are like, this is now a job, like a career for people.
Yes.
And when you had your story of like you retiring this corporate America lifestyle and pursuing a career in being an influencer, I'm like, that fits her perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, you have, like I said, this fabulous persona, and like, you are just amazing. So can you share, like, what made you, like, look into the influencer world? Like, what attracted you to becoming an influencer?
You know what's so crazy is I feel like everyone around me kind of pushed me in this direction. This isn't something that a direction I really went into myself. So when sometimes I don't really like the word influencer. I don't know why, but it's something about it. I'm like, oh, I'm an like, I don't like the way that sounds. So I always just label myself as a content creator.
Okay.
And even now with Instagram, they're kind of taking away, like, well, influencer is there, but they also have like content creator or blogger or something. I don't know. The influencer word could be taboo sometimes.
Yeah.
And some people don't like, oh, you're an influencer. Like, I don't know. So I always just label myself as a content creator. Just because I really do enjoy the creation of the content. I really enjoy photography and editing and all of actually creating the content is what I really do enjoy. But as far as my journey, which is strange, I never thought of myself like just kind of growing up and just in my life as a creative person. It's so weird because and everyone would think that around me were like, girl, you can do hair, you can do makeup. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
like,
you made one of my wigs.
Right? It's like, you are very creative. And because I just always consider myself extremely just kind of left brain and very strategic and numbers and all that, which is why I was an accountant for so many years. So even though I had these gifts and these talents in the more creative space, is not something I ever sought to make a career out of. It was like, which is a natural talent that I have. I've been doing hair since I could do my hair in middle school. You know, I would do my friends' hair and stuff like that, and friends' makeup as, you know, got to kind of high school and college. And in 2017 is when I actually started my YouTube channel. And friends had been telling me since college, you should get on YouTube. You should. And I'm like, no, you know, I just kind of do this stuff for fun. I don't want to be in front of a camera, because what a lot of people really don't know about me is that I can be very quiet, a little, I wouldn't say shy. I wouldn't label myself as shy, but I'm just someone that kind of sits back in a room and kind of observe. I'm not loud and in your face and boisterous. So I didn't really want to be in front of a camera or anything like that. So I just always said, no, that's not really my lane. Then in 2017, I was in a relationship, and he would see me watching YouTube all the time. He was just like, you can totally do that. Like, you do your makeup, it always looks good. You do your hair, it always looks good. Like, you're just watching. Why don't you get on there and do something like that? And I was like, well, no, again, that's not really my lane. And for Christmas that year, he ended up buying me a Mac Mini. And like, I think you should start your channel. He was like, you know, I really do think you should. And he just and again, friends and family and more people were just kind of in my ear about it. And I said, you know what, let me just give it a try. Why not? Yeah. So I uploaded my first video in January. January 12th. I actually just got a reminder on Facebook. Like, here's a memory. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize what the exact date was until like 2 days ago. So January 12th was my first video that went up on YouTube, and it started out as makeup. And I would just kind of post here and there. It really wasn't gaining any traction, but I just still kind of put it out whenever I felt like it. I would say about 2 years after that, I ended up posting my first like hair review. And I went from like 2,000 subscribers to like 10,000 subscribers, like out of nowhere from that hair review. So I'm like, okay, clearly people are coming more for hair and not the makeup content. So I really leaned into that. And I was just posting here and there on YouTube after that. And then once I had my son, everything changed for me. Everything changed for me, like probably most moms. After you have a kid, everything kind of just changed, and it puts a lot into perspective. And I remember after I had him, well, I got pregnant during the pandemic, and I was already kind of feeling like, oh, I'm just in the house all the time. Now I'm pregnant. I already just felt this drive of not really feeling like rolling over and turning on my laptop, right? Because you're already
burnt out from that.
Exactly. Just already burnt out from just, you know, being shut in with the pandemic, and then now I'm pregnant, and just being tired from that. And then after my son was born, and I took 3 months off after I gave birth, And then I realized I just don't want to go back to work. I do not want to go back to work. And I wasn't ready to put him in daycare. So I was working full time from home, taking care of him as well. And I just felt so much mom guilt of just kind of sitting him in a spot while trying to do a meeting and just trying to juggle so much. It was just too much. And I went to his dad at the time, which was like, I can't keep doing this. Like, and I had been telling him for the longest that at first I thought it was my job because I had been there for 5 years at that company. And I thought that was the problem at first. And then I changed companies and went to a larger company, a great company. And when I got there, I was like, I'm not really happy here either.
Right. And
then I realized that it wasn't either of the jobs. It was just me. I had been accounting for over 10 years. I was a mom now, and it just had ran its course. It didn't fulfill me in any way. It was just waking up accounting is a very mundane day-to-day job anyway. Yeah. And it paid great money, obviously, and provided a great life, but I just didn't feel fulfilled in any way.
And that's where the real wealth comes in.
Exactly. So I remember it was the craziest thing. If any of you follow me on social media, I told this story on both YouTube and on like my IG stories, where I remember very, very vividly. It was November. It was a Sunday, and we were kind of, putting the baby down, getting ready for the work week. And I remember telling his dad, like, I just really don't feel like going to work next week. Like, I'm just not looking forward to it whatsoever. And that Monday we had crazy, I logged into like meetings all day. And I was just like, after lunch, there was this meeting that really just kind of irked my nerves. I was going downstairs like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm done. Like, I need to make a plan to exit out of corporate America, because at that time, YouTube was already making me money.
Right.
It was not a lot, but it was making me money. And at this point, I was just passively posting here and there, and it was already making money. So I knew that if I really poured into it like it was my 9 to 5,
right,
posted regular, that it only goes up from there, right? It doesn't go down. So I went downstairs. I told my son's dad, I was like, hey, this is it. I'm making a plan. It's time for me to kind of just leave corporate America, because I'm just so irritated with just waking up every day and going to this job. And it's not the company. I loved my manager. I loved my team, all of that. It's just like, it would just work, you know? So I told him verbatim, I said, you know what? I'm going to finish out the year. I'm going to get my bonus after the year wraps, and I'm going to finish out the first quarter, and then March 31st, that's my last day. And from that, I'm going to go full time with the content creation and really pour into this. And he was like, all right, if you're going to do it, you put a date on it, we're going to stick to it. I'm going to hold you to it.
Wow.
Love that.
And support of your manager.
Yes. And
supervisor, whatever.
Well, no, this is my son's dad.
You're
okay.
No,
not
you're
manager.
supervisor, your manager.
Where did manager come from?
Like, wait. I don't know where. I'm like, wait. That's a great manager.
Right. Too much mama juice.
They like, hold on. We got work to do, girl.
Okay, so your accountability partner or something. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Continue.
So literally 2 days later, it was a Wednesday. I was getting ready to go to lunch, and our CFO put a meeting on the calendar, very last minute. Whenever there's a last minute meeting on the calendar, it's usually some sort of announcement. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I didn't go to lunch, and then I stayed for that meeting. And in that meeting, our CFO announced that they were, everyone that's on the call, jobs was being terminated effective immediately. There was 220 accountants on that call. I work for a very large company, multiple accounting departments, hundreds of accountants. It was 220 accounting, finance people on that call. And they said that those 200 jobs had been eliminated. They were creating 70 new jobs, and they were pushing the majority of the work offshore, because we had a very large offshore team in India. Just to save money, they were pushing most of the work offshore. And that all 220 people were welcome to apply to those 70 jobs.
Damn.
Wow. So it's like the Hunger Games out here.
Exactly. So, but the caveat to that was, he said, we want to give you guys as much heads up as possible. So we're not, even though the termination of the job is effective immediately, your last working day will be March 31st.
Wow.
And I tell you, I literally almost fell out of my chair.
Right.
Like, I don't think I heard anything else that he said after that.
Yeah.
I literally sat there, and was like,
this is confirmation.
This is confirmation.
Yes.
And I've always had, and most people do, like my relationship with God is very personal. It's very one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
I am someone, I pray about everything. And when it comes to making any move in life, I do not move unless he tells me to, unless he shows me. And I'm someone, and he knows this as my creator, that it can't be fleeting. It can't be just like a hint. It has to be in my face, very direct, or I will ignore it. Like, because I'm just someone, I'm naturally risk averse. Like, I don't take risks. I don't take huge leaps. I'm not like, oh, I'll do this and I'll figure it out. Like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, so for me, I pray hard, and I'm very specific. And I say, God, please show me very clearly, make it plain. Like, it can't be suggestive for me.
Right.
And usually that comes to me in either I just hear him clearly, a dream. I am a very vivid dreamer, a dream, or someone passing, or a family member. Like, it'll just come in such a clear cut way. And this came so clear 2 days later, March 31st. It does not get clearer than that.
Right.
And I was like, I am not, who am I to disobey God? You've clearly put this in my heart. And I wrote that date down afterwards. Me and my cousins are really, really close. We're all 1 year apart. So we talk about everything. We have our cousins group and we chat in there every day. And after I talked to Nate, and they've also pushed me to do more creative things as well.
Yeah.
I told them the same thing about the March 31st date. I wrote it down, and I told group of people that's really, really close to me. And then 2 days later, it was confirmed to me, and that was all I needed.
Yeah.
My manager and my director at the time, they really wanted me to apply to one of those 70 jobs. I'm like, we have one of those jobs is yours. There's 69 jobs really available. One of those jobs is yours. We just need you to apply. And I said, no, I'm not. Who am I to disobey God, what God has put in my heart? I have a plan. I already didn't want to work anymore anyway. I had a nice severance, and that started that journey.
That's why we're here now.
And that's exactly why I'm here talking to you.
Wow.
That's what happens when you're honored.
That is amazing. That is so amazing. Wow. Okay, so with that, like, you are now a full-time content creator, and I feel like we're in this space where people are trying to, even us, like, because I struggle with the word influencer too. I'm like, friend, we can't use that. Like, it makes me cringe. And because I'm really not, I don't feel like we're trying to influence people. We're just trying to help and put information out, right? But with that, it comes with a whole slew of things, right? So everyone wants to know, like, how do you become a successful content creator, influencer, right? Is it easy? Like they make it seem on Instagram? Because I be feeling like we can do stuff, and then when we go to do it, it's like, oh, hell nah.
This ain't it.
Right. And if it's not easy, like, what are your challenges?
So I think that success is defined by, each individual person, right? What success looks like to me could be different for someone else. And while some may look at me as a successful influencer, I don't see myself as have reaching the level of success that I want to be. There's people that I aspire to be in the influencer space that have, 1 million followers, and they're making millions or, hundreds of thousands as influencers, right? So even though I do recognize the success, but I think success is obviously relative. Right. And I'm constantly learning. So when you ask, like, what does it take to be, I feel like I don't even have all the answers. I can only give, what has gotten me to this point, which has been somewhat of a success, but I'm still learning so much. And we were just actually talking about this before we started recording. Like, you're still learning things. Like, I am a student when it comes to content creation, because I have goals to where I want to be, and I know I'm not there yet, and there's still so much to learn, and there's constantly so much changing. But what I will say is that, and what I think any influencer that has reached any sort of success will say, consistency is key.
Yes,
we hear that all the time.
We have to tell
you have to be on top of it, and that in itself, I'm still struggling with that.
Even as a mama, like, it's just.
I am so struggling with that. And even though I told myself that once I left my corporate job, and I tried to give myself grace, and I was like, okay, Brittany, you've been working for over 10 years. You can take some time off. You have a new baby. Like, you don't have to jump from one and jump, into the deep end of the other. But I still have yet to get onto that consistent schedule that I want, which is waking up every day, treating it like a 9 to 5, posting on social media every day. And at least one of those, I'm still not there.
Yeah.
But I try to make sure that I show my face in some aspect, whether it's a story, a reel, a post on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. Jesus. You just honestly have to be consistent with it. Yeah. That's the only way. Not only consistent, and the second thing that I will say is you have to post quality content.
Yeah.
I have friends that and family that wants to get into the content creation space, and they ask me all the time, like, okay, what do you think about me posting that? And I'm like, don't post just to post.
Yeah.
Consistency is number one, but very close behind that is solid content, good content. You don't want to post just to post, because if you're just posting a bunch of crap, that's getting you nowhere.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to make sure it's quality. So for me, if I don't have anything quality to post, I'm not posting it.
Yeah.
Especially not on my stories, because stories can be whatever.
Yeah.
But
they go away.
And it go away. Exactly. But as far as my actual page, if it's not quality content, I don't post it.
Right.
I'm someone where I'm a Virgo, so I'm very much so in my head, and we're perfectionists and we strive for perfection. Yes. I have like over 40 reels and drafts right now, just because I look at them until I hate them. So I'm like, it's not there. It's not where I want it to be. So make sure your content is quality, because, and especially if you are a business and you're selling a product, you want your product to be shown in the absolute best light, because all it takes is that one post to go viral and get hundreds of thousands, even millions of eyes on it. And when that post comes through someone's suggested feed and they click on your profile, you want to catch their eye immediately.
Exactly.
And if you just got a bunch of crap on your page, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're going to look at the reel, okay, double tap and keep moving.
Yeah.
But if they go to the reel, they like the reel, they go to your page and they say, okay, I really like the way that this looks just off the bat before I even click on anything else, you're likely to get that follow. That's how I follow people. When a reel is suggested on my page and I look at the reel, oh, I like this reel, I like it, I go to their page. And if it looks inviting, is aesthetically pleasing, is something that I'm interested in, I immediately follow before I even go through the content. But if I look at it and it's just a bunch of, I just keep moving to the next thing.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that your content is quality. So when people do come across it, because Instagram really is pushing out smaller creators right now, which is why a lot of the larger creators are complaining that their reels aren't getting seen in the algorithm and all of that. I feel like that as well, but they're really pushing smaller content creators right now. So if you're,
well, they ain't pushing us.
Guess what? We found the secret. We found the secret. If you are a mama or a woman in general and you are struggling with your libido, we have found the trick. She-O has done the job. We have been more engaged intimately with our husbands. We have had all the fun. And when I tell y'all the fun, we have had the fun. And guess what? We don't have to put towards so much energy, because this has done the trick. And if y'all don't believe us, check out the reviews.
Yep.
Like,
check the link in our bio and use code MAMA, all caps, for extra discounts. But order it today. That's all I can say.
Today. And like we said, if you don't trust us, read the reviews.
Right. Like, we listen. I cannot stand making reels. I'm gonna just be honest.
and that's where it is.
Exactly. And that's why we do them, because it really does grant so much exposure. And it's like, and we've put all our hard work, our energy, our brain space, everything into making these reels. And then it's like, oh, only 300 people viewed it. I'm like, no.
And it's not even the 300 people. It's the people that's already following you, right? And then reach the other people you're trying to reach.
Reach people so know.
Yeah.
So,
and let me tell you about reels. So I am all about photos. I love a good quality photo.
Yes. And they distort the picture. Oh,
I like taking photos. I like viewing photos. So when they were pushing, I was 1000%. I'm like, I am not making no videos. I am not posting no reels. But it came to the point where they literally stopped pushing photos. They forced you.
Yeah,
if you wanted to be in this space, you had to. And let me tell you, I started posting reels. So when I left my corporate gig at the beginning of last year, I was on Instagram a little over 2,000 followers. I really didn't have many followers. And I have been on Instagram longer than I've been on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So I had about, I think, 30,000 on YouTube, and I had about 2,000 followers on Instagram. I was really pushing back on these reels and was reluctant to post. But then once it was clear to me that I have to post reels, I started posting reels. That was in April of the beginning of last year. I posted one reel in July. So I have been at 2,000 subscribers, slowly growing up. I posted one reel in July, a reel that I didn't even think was all, like, I wasn't even planning on posting it. But I was like, you know what? It was just something for fun.
Right.
Let me just post it anyway. That reel today has over 11 million views. I went from 2,000 followers. I now have 32,000 followers in less than a year.
Right.
I was at one point watching my follower count go up 1,000 by the day.
Oh my gosh.
And it just took that one reel, and from 2,000 to 32,000 in less than a year. And most of that traction happened in a few months, because in August I had 5,000. By November I was up to 25,000.
Wow.
It just takes one.
Yeah.
And so you have to keep putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
You don't want to, but if you have a business, I tell people, if you have a business and if you are not on social media producing content, you are doing yourself a disservice, because that's where marketing is. Most corporations now have a social media marketing department, because that's just kind of the time that we live in.
Yeah. My job has a department that's specifically for social media.
Yeah.
And a lot of our work is streamlined through that department.
Yeah.
If we want anything exposed to social media, right? Because that's the way a lot of us are communicating.
Yeah.
How people are getting information. So,
exactly.
yeah. They
A lot of
social media now before the news.
They do. I do. I promise.
Shade room saying.
Let me go on Instagram and see if they posted this.
Right.
Because I need the tea. I need to know what's going on.
Right.
I'm going to social media. I'm not going to CNN.
Same.
You know.
And now social media first, then CNN.
Yeah.
And everything.
Right. It depends on what the issue is.
Right.
If it's a world issue, okay. Let me. I'm gonna see it on social media first, but
I'm gonna fact check it.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. So, Brittany, what do you love most about being a content creator?
Honestly, just the creative outlet. I am someone that I constantly live in my head. I constantly live in my mind. And so for me, it's just a way of just to kind of express myself creatively.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, I really enjoy photography, photos, learning out about the camera, editing software, those things. That's like a weird, it's kind of quirky part of me, where I really like the behind the scenes part of it. And then I obviously like the visual that gets produced, right? So I would say that's the thing that I love the most. And then also just the freedom that it gives you as far as work and being able to earn money is an easy way. You don't even have to quit your corporate job. Do both.
Yeah.
You know, especially until you get your content to a place that's really, you know, being able to afford you a lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and everyone is all about the multiple streams of income, and it's such an easy way once you get to a certain point to make money through either sponsorships, brand deals with YouTube, just which is more passive, which is why I really love YouTube, because you don't have to go out and try to work with brands and find deals and all of that. You just get passive income from advertisements that they run on your videos. You produce the content, you put it out there, and you let it make you money.
Right.
And so that's what I really love about YouTube. So one of my goals this year, my goal last year was to really increase my following on Instagram, and I've gotten it to a decent place where I'm happy with it. So my goal for this year is to really get on YouTube, which is what's really making me like money, and to really post 3 times a week, every week, get on a very consistent schedule, wake up 9 to 5, like I said, and make this like my real job. Because that's what the content creators that are making good money and have hundreds of thousands, even millions of followers, it's a job.
Yeah.
They have managers, they have assistants, you know, it's their job. So
So I'm glad you said that, because I want to know, like, with being a content creator, do you ever get to turn off? Like, are you able to bask in a moment with your child, or do you always have like a camera rolling? Like, what does that look like? Do you get those opportunities?
So for me, this last year, I've had, like I said, I hadn't gotten on that consistent schedule because I was finding it hard to balance, because my son, he's a year and a half now. He's extremely active. I get 2 hours of downtime when he's taking a nap.
Yeah.
That's it. And I wanted to be, I remember one time it was in his room playing, and I was in there with him, but I was on my phone. I was editing a reel, and he walked up to me and he grabbed my phone and he just kind of looked at me in my face, and I felt so bad.
They'll shame you.
It's like
they will,
like, you know, like I'm like trying to get my attention. I'm over here on my phone.
Right.
So I immediately put it down and started to play with him. And he just came. He just wanted to wrestle. He's a boy. He just wants me to throw him around. So I've struggled because I've been staying at home with him. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why I haven't been as consistent. And I really try to be in the moment when I'm with him, because you don't get this time back. They're so little and cute and precious at this time. And I still miss, I wish I can go back sometimes, which is crazy, to the newborn phase. So I'm like, I feel like that was not a blur. Yeah. That was such a blur. Now they're just tyrants, and and now I'm realizing that he'll never be as small as he is now. So I really want to soak up that time. Yeah. And I'm finally at a place where I'm ready to put him in daycare. He actually starts daycare next month, which I'm really, really excited about, and nervous. Reach out, prayers.
Y'all will be good. Yeah, we've all been through that phase.
Look, you're gonna be asking daycare, come get your kids. Right. I'm telling you, the only thing I dislike about daycare is the illness. The kids get sick a lot, but other than that, I have no complaints. I'm like, y'all come to get your baby?
Right. Yes.
Why are you closed?
Right. I definitely, we have a holiday coming up on Monday, and I'm like, are y'all are closed, right? Or open? She said, no, we're closed. Just checking. Just in case. I just wanted to make sure.
Listen, I was crying on the tour. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. And his dad was like, you need to get it together.
Yeah, no, you're going to have your moment. But once you have that little bit of freedom, girl.
Oh my God. That's what I'm really looking forward to, even though I'm nervous about it. And I feel like nobody watches your kid like you watch your kid, right? Yeah. So, but I know that'll probably go away within the first couple of weeks. And I'm going to try not to be that crazy mom. But I'm really looking forward just to have that freedom to not only do what it is that I want to do, but do what I need to do. Right. Yeah. So, as far as like this content creation and really getting it where I want it to be. So I'm really excited about this year. I have so many goals and so many plans as far as content goes. So,
I can't wait to see.
Yeah. And he's going to flourish.
Yeah, he's going to flourish.
So
you're going to really see that personality come out. Right. You're going to be seeing
you're going to do more wrestling.
Other kids be saying, like,
like he's doing this thing where he's like, stop. I'm like, first of all, who are you talking to? F.A. Second of all, who are you raising your hand up at? But I'm like, he's only 3. He probably learned this from one of his peers in school. Yep. So he's going to learn so much. Yeah. And you're going to love seeing him in that space. Yeah. If you need us, girl, we're here. So speaking of your son, like, do you hope to have him like in this influencer or content creation space too? Or do you just want to let him do his own thing and you focus on making this like your career?
You know what? So he hates the camera. Anytime I'm trying to get cute photos or videos, like he's doing something, he's like,
your holiday photos.
Girl, that's my life. He is not interested. First of all, like, get it together. But when I found out that I was pregnant, one thing that I promised myself was that I didn't want to let motherhood consume me. I wanted to still maintain my sense of individuality and fabulousness. Yes. And I didn't want to just let it consume me. And I knew for a fact that I didn't want to be a mom influencer. Nothing wrong with it. I follow so many. Yeah. And I absolutely love their content. But for me, I always wanted to present very well-rounded content and more than anything to show moms that you can have it all. Once you have a child, it doesn't stop there. Life doesn't stop there. You don't have to let motherhood consume you. You can be a great mom, great friend, still travel, still enjoy luxury and, doing stuff for yourself and all of that. So that's really where my focus is. I don't want to be a mom creator, and it's a lot of money there. Yeah. Like, especially in a lot of brands are looking for families and mothers and especially like your Targets and your stuff like that. Yeah. And there's really a lot of money there. And like I said, I follow a lot of awesome TikTokers and influencers, and I love their content, but I just realized I don't think it's my lane. Like I didn't want it to consume me. That was my biggest focus. So for me, I won't force it on him. Like I said, he doesn't really care too much for the camera. He has a very just kind of personality. He's like camera. Some kids, the camera come on and they want to put on the show. Yeah. He's not interested. And so I don't want to force it on him. So he'll still be featured in my content because the mom now is so much of who.
That's a part of you.
So he'll still be featured on YouTube and, in little things. But as far as just going heavy on the content, as far as a kid. I even thought about, should I make him, because he's so cute, if I should make him like his separate little Instagram page and all of that. But like I said, he doesn't like that stuff. So I'm not gonna force it. So
it's his little gold chain.
Yeah.
He is so cute.
He's my baby.
Yeah,
he is. Eli's like, he does not like the camera.
Yeah,
doesn't like it at all.
Yeah, you have one of each. Drew is just like, oh yes, camera time.
Drew is definitely
Jamie
camera ready.
Get that camera on my face. I'm gonna break my phone. Like literally turn into the home. Yeah. So seriously. Yeah, just you have to know your kids. So yeah, and I'm glad that you're sticking to yourself. Like still, because as moms, we need that too. Like I can still be fly. I can still hang out with my friends because you be brunching. Okay.
Yeah.
Look,
listen.
You shop well,
right?
And all the designer things in life. So
live that fabulous life.
Like we need that to give us hope, because I think sometimes in motherhood we get lost, right?
Absolutely.
And it's like, oh no, I don't need that. It's all about the kids. But then when you look at someone like you, it's like, no, I do need that.
Yeah,
I do need that bag. So
after we had that conversation with Sherez, what was it, Fashion Mama?
Yeah.
That episode was in October of last year, I think. After that conversation, like, I literally had a shift in how I want to get back to myself. Going to get my nails done, going to get my pedicures, getting my massages, going out to brunch, going to buy myself something if I want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. We have to keep that in mind, because we definitely will lose ourselves.
We will.
Because mamahood, especially in those early years, like, it literally consumes everything that we do day in and day out. So it's good. It's like you're your first year. And you're like, no, man. No.
You know what? And I feel like, for like the first few months, obviously I was just at home, a frumpy mess, a complete mess. And I would say maybe about 6-8 months, I was like, all right, I gotta get it together. I gotta do my hair, I gotta do some makeup on today. I gotta get myself together, because I just felt myself just getting comfortable and just being at home and falling into that role, especially after I stopped working. But I really wanted to get back to myself, and I'm at a place, and I had a huge transition in my life last year where me and my son's dad, we split, and so now we've moved on from partners to co-parents. And honestly, it has been such a beautiful transition. I am so lucky and I'm so blessed when it comes to my son's father. Like, he's the GOAT. Like, and you hear such negative things about co-parenting, but I already knew the man that I had a child with, so I wasn't worried about it. But it has been more beautiful and seamless than I could have ever imagined it to be. Like, I truly have a partner in parenting when it comes to my son's dad. So, and that has helped me with being able to still go out and brunch. Right. Because he gets his son as much as possible. He gets him 3 days a week. And even if I need an extra day, I'm like, hey, I got this going on. Can you get it? Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah. If he don't have anything going on, he wants to see his son as much as possible. Yeah. So it allows me to be able to pour into me and still do the things that I like and still do the things that I want to do, because I have a partner when it comes to my son. And I'm not, and which is needed, being that all of my family's in Florida, right? So, and all of his family is in Wisconsin. So it really was just him and I here, right? So we really just lean on each other when it comes to our son, and we both do what needs to be done, and he is our number one priority. So,
families, are y'all looking for some fun to get into this summer? If so, we have the perfect trip for you.
Yes, KT Travel and More is back with another great trip. Yes. July 13th through July 16th, you and your family can pack up and go where, friend?
To Punta Cana.
Yes. So hit up Stephanie for all the details, but this trip is very affordable and it fits a family of 4.
Absolutely. And guess what? You will be in Punta Cana for 4 days and 3 nights under the sunny weather, the breeze, the ocean, all the fun. So make sure you check out KT Travel and More for more details.
Sign up today before it's too late.
It has been a beautiful transition, and I'm really, really lucky for that.
That makes me so happy, because we don't hear those stories all the time, right? And so thank you for sharing that on our platform, and shout out to you.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay.
Your partner in parenting.
Yeah, your partner. That's what I call them. I will never label myself as a single mom, because I'm not a mom doing it on my own. Right. I'm a single woman with a child. Right. My son has a very active and present dad. So
I love that perspective.
Yeah. I don't consider myself a single mom, because I'm not doing it alone.
Wow.
So.
Woo. That was good.
Right, that's all completely
Right.
different.
Yeah.
I might have to bring y'all both back and talk
And
about that.
he'll probably gladly come here. He loves the camera. He's so opposite of me. Like, he likes to put on a show. He's all in your face.
Yeah.
If I ask him, he'll probably come here and sit here and talk to me.
Yes, we're going to have to make that an episode because
that is a completely different
Right.
perspective on co-parenting or being partners in parenting.
Right.
And that might be the title of the episode, Partners in Parenting.
Yeah. He was a terrible partner now. That's why we got together.
he's a great dad.
Right.
Partners in parenting.
And I think that's where a lot of people go left. You know, we're kind of off topic
Yeah.
when it comes to co-parenting, is that a lot of people can't separate who the person was as a partner to you versus who they are as a father to your child.
Yes.
And a lot of times we hold on to all the hurt, the resentment, the anger, or whatever of who they were or who they weren't to you as a partner.
Yes.
And we just kind of project that onto them as who they are as a dad. For me, when we decided to split and he left, all of my problems went with him. And I completely shifted my focus to our son. He did the same. So now we don't argue. We argued about everything in our relationship. We argue about nothing now.
Right.
Because we're not holding on to all of where you weren't this or you didn't do that or none of that. It's about our son and what's best for him. So what is there to argue about? There's nothing to argue about. So that's just kind of, I think if people can truly let go of the relationship and the hurt and whatever was missing there, and now we're not talking about bums, right?
Right.
People
Right,
that
right,
bad
right,
parents.
right.
We're not talking about
wall around.
Right. We're not talking about that. We're talking about solid moms and dads who wants to be in their kids' lives, right? And a lot of times I think that, again, we hold on to the relationship issues and we don't allow that person to prosper in that role. And you're constantly fighting and bickering, not about what they're doing or not doing for your child, about the issues you have with each other.
Yeah.
So
that's a whole word.
Yes, we definitely have to bring y'all back. Yeah. For real, for real. We'll make that happen for sure. But yeah, talk to him.
Yeah, I was about to say, talk to him and see if he's open.
Because we've had a co-parenting episode, but not, it was just a mom's perspective. So to have both, I think that would be awesome.
yeah.
Because we do have a lot of dad listeners as well. Yeah. So I think that would be nice to hear that.
I will tell women in quick, more important, this might be a little controversial, I don't know, but more important than choosing who you marry is choosing who you have a child with, because you will obviously want that to be the same person, right?
Yeah.
But I've been seeing a lot of TikToks and Instagrams and even podcast clips, uprise of women saying that they're married single mothers. They're married, but their husbands aren't helping rear the child. They haven't never changed a diaper. That's crazy to me. They've never done bath time or the night feedings because they feel like their job is just to bring home the money and provide. And so they feel like they're single moms, but they're married. I can't imagine being in a marriage and feeling like that.
Not controversial at all, because we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Devin and I both have equal part homes.
Yeah.
We bring money to the table. We take care of the kids that we create.
Yeah.
So it's not mom is barefoot in the kitchen.
Right.
And her moo.
No.
Right.
Now, hold on. Where my moo. Right.
No, but that's not all you're doing. All day.
Exactly, right. We taking care of this kid that we
run out
create.
for a few hours a day. Not all day.
Well, catch me on the Saturday. It ain't recording with the mama part. You'll get my moo. I sure will.
So I love that. That's right there.
Yeah, so you gotta choose wisely out here, because parenting is obviously, as everyone knows, it's not easy. It's hard, and you really and you really have to have a partner. And with the divorce rate, I'm seeing so many divorces across my life, and I hate to see it. I really do. And then custody battles and stuff like that can get so nasty. With my son, there's no courts involved. Like we don't want to do any. We're not even married.
Partners.
We're partners. So it's really important choosing who you have a child with, because I can't imagine doing it by myself. I really can't.
Thank you for that. So to that mama who wants to become a content creator, where does she begin? Where does she start? How does she get this popping?
Right.
Yeah. And this might just start.
Okay.
You start with your first photo, your first reel. Change all of your social media platforms to business accounts, creator accounts, even if it's your personal. I won't tell anyone to start from scratch with a brand new account, because it's so hard to build. It's easier now because one reel can take you there. But if you already have accounts, change those to business accounts. You don't need to have crazy setup or lighting, but if you really want to go there, get on Amazon. They have a beginner bloggers kit for a couple $100. Yeah, that's what I did when I started my YouTube channel. I went on, it was like lighting background kit, and I found one for like $137. I still use those lights to this day. It's been years. So just go on Amazon. You can start with your phone, especially when it comes to TikTok and Instagram. All you need is an iPhone or an
iPhone.
Get your iPhone, girl. Listen, it took some time to build up to at least this, and we still have a ways to go.
So, you can start with your phone. My advice would be to just start, just do it. Be consistent, post quality content. And don't be discouraged because you're only getting a couple hundred views or a couple likes. Like, just keep putting yourself, you have to constantly keep putting yourself out there. It really only takes that one video, that one photo to really get you from nothing to something.
Yeah.
And then once you get to a place where you can start to kind of market yourself to brands, be confident in who you are. Put together a media kit. Which is something that I actually just recently put together myself last year. Once I got my Instagram to a certain place, like, hey, this is how many followers I have. This is my engagement. Send that out to brands. Make a list of brands that you would like to work with, and put it on a vision board. Work on your platforms. Build those up. Post quality. I cannot harp enough on the quality of the content, not quantity. It has to
that might
be
the name of this episode too.
Quality over quantity.
Yes, like serious, like
quality over quantity.
Just keep putting yourself out there. There really is no secret recipe. It really isn't any magic sauce. Like, do this, that, and you'll be. It's not that. Only thing I can say is find your lane, even if you don't have a lane. For me, I pride myself in that. I don't want to feel like I'm have a niche. I want to be a little bit of everything. Like I told you, I don't want to be just a mom. I don't want to. I want to be. I want to be well rounded. And if not having a niche is your thing, make sure you're like showing the array of yourself. And make it make sense, right? So really, just find your lane, whatever that lane is. Post the quality content. Be consistent. Don't get discouraged, and just keep putting yourself out there.
That's good. Hell, you're speaking to us.
Yeah.
And there it is. And there it is.
Really are.
And also research. Like for me, I'm constantly researching like what's the best editing apps and tools and camera and all of it. Is this a Rebel?
Yeah.
I actually have that camera. That's my
you got a little something.
That's my YouTube camera. I have that camera. So, and I did a lot of research before I purchased it, just to kind of see like what's a good starter camera. It's not gonna break the bank.
Definitely a starter camera.
Yeah, but it's not gonna break the bank because there are cameras out there that cost a lot. But you don't have to spend a lot of money to get started. Just get started. Like, don't do it tomorrow. Don't do it next year. Do it today.
Just do it.
Especially where social media is right now. Like, no better time than the present. And there's no telling where it's gonna be in the next 5-10 years.
So what's next for you? What's next for Brittani?
Oh, so for me, like I was saying earlier, now that I'm putting my son in daycare, I really just want to focus this year. And I'm looking 1 year at a time. I have, 5 and 10 year goals. And those actually are outside of content creation because I have so many business ideas, that, a couple businesses that I've been thinking about, but I'm putting those off for now. Right now, my focus is really continue to grow both of my platforms, specifically Instagram and YouTube. TikTok, that's another beast.
Right.
And I can't
like it's not for our generation.
Like, I just feel like it's just
for somebody else.
It's a lot. I haven't figured TikTok out quite yet, but really turning it into a business, a job, 9 to 5, and going really hard in 2023. And my goal at the end of 2023 is to have 100K on both platforms. Because once you reach 100K on YouTube, it kind of puts you in another category. Okay. You get your official YouTube plaque recognizing you as a creator, right? I guess when you get your first plaque, the next plaque is at 1 million. Then after that, it's 10 million. But 100,000 is my goal on both platforms by the end of the year.
It's yours.
There we go.
I am claiming it. It is mine. I have already written it down. I have already prayed about it. I have started planning, and I just have so much content. My mind is just constantly floating with ideas, and I'm just constantly, something pop in my head, and I advise creators do this, write it down.
Yeah.
Because you'll be thinking about it now, then you do something else and you forget or whatever. If you see something be inspired. Don't be afraid to be inspired. You're not copying. Yeah. You see something on social media,
right?
Save it.
Better.
Not replicate or duplicate, but make it better. Just be inspired. And I'm constantly inspired. My following is across the board: fashion, beauty, lifestyle, moms, just friends and family. And I'm constantly inspired. Travel, I'm constantly inspired. And I save anything that I just save it, and I'll go back to it, whether it's a sound or a video. So just don't stop being inspired, and the smallest little thing can spark something. So
love it. So speaking of that, where can our listeners find you? Like, where can they follow? Like, give us all the tea so we get to this 100K.
Right. So we're gonna speak on that.
Yes.
Right. So
100K.
We're claiming it. So my Instagram is She Kills Official. My YouTube is just She Kills, and then my TikTok is She Kills. I'm not that active on TikTok, but you can find me on YouTube, and Instagram is where I'm most active, just posting stories and just random things that I'm doing throughout the day and all of that. So
we'll have all her information in our description box, so you guys can click the links and hit the follow tab, okay?
And subscribe.
Subscribe. Yes, that's important. Write the reviews. Do all that.
And if you have any questions, people be in my DMs all the time asking me stuff.
Right.
And I've never. Now, I do have a busy child, so sometimes I might be a little late with my response. But I am never beyond answering any questions. Like, I'm an open book. Some people, they kind of hold a lot close to their chest. For me, you ask me anything, and if I know the answer, I'll give it to you. Right. If I don't, I'll be like, child, I don't know. But
try this person.
Try this person. Look this up. Right. But if I have the answers, I have no problem sharing what I've learned or any knowledge that I have.
Love that. Okay, so all that content creation, friend, what did you create in this glass?
It's good, girl. I've been saying it.
So as you all can see, the glass says fabulous. And it says fabulous because of how I described Brittani in her introduction. And she's a fabulous woman, and we're so proud of just her manifesting where she is now in life. Right. So, again, hats off to you. Yeah, but this drink was inspired by Brittani and her lifestyle. And I feel like when I see you on social media, like, you will go to a brunch. And this drink gave me, y'all know I love me a good brunch vibes drink. So it has champagne.
Okay.
It has elderflower liqueur soaked oranges.
I like elderflower.
And mint.
I didn't grab the elderflower.
It's in there. Yes. So, yes, it has elderflower soaked or oranges soaked in elderflower and mint and champagne. And that's it. Like, it reminds me of
I love it.
You.
My type of drink.
Yes.
Yeah, some of these
it's good.
Just good.
Devin I've been working on building Devin's tolerance for about 15 years now. Not sure that it's going to, at this point, she's a lost cause. So.
Choice, Devin.
Sweet wine.
Sweet wine. What is that? What is sweet wine?
Right.
So, yes.
This is good.
This
so
is
we
called
have
content creator. That's the name of your drink.
Yes. I like it a lot.
And if you're a mama to be, or you don't like alcohol, which is totally fine, you can use a sparkling white grape juice. And you can still don't soak your oranges in elderflower liqueur. Just use fresh oranges and mint, and it's still good, refreshing, and it feels like a brunch vibe.
Yeah.
And fabulous.
They tasty.
Yeah,
it's
really good.
Okay, so now it's time for my favorite part of the episode. Okay. And this is called Mama's Corner. So Mama's Corner is our opportunity to connect with our guests, our listeners. They typically write in. Either they share a mama hack, ask advice. We let them know we're not experts, but we can speak based on our experiences, our personal experiences. So we had a mama who wrote in. So the question reads, "Hey ladies, I'm a pregnant mama and I feel like y'all preparing me for motherhood." Okay. I'm really struggling with whether or not if I'm going to post my child on social media. How did you all decide whether or not you're going to post your child or children on social media?
That's a really good question.
Mm-hmm. Really, really good question. So
we'll start with
we'll start
and then
So for me, so much of my life was already on social media that it was no brainer for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I even did a pregnancy journey on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Now on YouTube, I post less of him just because I feel like YouTube is so open to everybody, right? You can't really control it. And not saying that won't change because maybe he'll be posted more. But it was a no-brainer for me being that I post everything else. Like I wanted to post him. But as far as the decision, it's such a personal decision because I truly understand why some people don't, especially celebrities and things like that, because people can be so mean and so nasty or whatever. Right. But it really is just a personal choice. It's you just have to go with your gut, like what you feel. I know some people that have never posted their child on social media,
or hand or their ear.
I actually my college roommate. And one of my friends actually much like, I didn't know she had a baby. I'm like, her baby's 5 because she never posted her pregnancy journey or her kid. So a lot of people never really realized that she had a kid, and that was her own personal choice. So I respect everyone's choice. It's just really what works for you and your family. And then I know there's some people where one person wants to post, but the other parent doesn't. And you guys really just have to come, meeting of the minds. So for me, it was just a no-brainer.
Okay. Yeah, so I do like the fact that you mentioned your friend who was pregnant and didn't post the baby. And I respect every decision too, but I think it's interesting when we see everything about the pregnancy and then we get a hand. Yeah. On the back of the head. On the back of the head. Right. Baby. Don't tell us nothing at all.
I'm the same way. I'm like, don't be
all invested. I'm like, how beautiful you look, sharing the pictures and everything, and we just see the back of the baby head. But
I'm the same way about it. And I like post name of us. Either don't or do.
Right. That exactly. Right. Like give which one you giving me?
Right.
So I waited a month to post Eli, and it was because that first month, like he was in the NICU for half the first month. We were trying to figure out like what the hell was going on because he came like almost 2 months early. So I don't want to say it was a bit delayed in posting him because he was a month old, but we had so much to navigate in that first month. Right. I was not thinking about social media.
Yeah.
So, and then the month that when he turned 1 month, like that was our second Friendsgiving. So like all the friends were in town and they want to post pictures. And I'm like, now that we have our groove for the most part, it's okay for him to be on social media.
Yeah.
Now. So it wasn't like, oh no, I'm not posting him until it's just that's just how the cards fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't post Drew right away either because he was a NICU baby too. And honestly, I had this fear of like my kids looking funny looking.
Yeah, she always talked about it.
No, just in general. Guys, them 3D photos. Right. I don't know what's going to come out this body because, child was real ghetto. So I was just like, I don't know. It depends on what the child looked like, but they were cute. So
that's so funny because my 3D photo, I was like, as soon as he came out, like I have video of it, I was like, I want to see his face. I just needed to see what his face looked like because that 3D, it wasn't giving me what I needed. It wasn't giving what I needed.
Eli never let us see him.
It as soon as I saw him, like the video, as I burst into tears. I couldn't believe how beautiful he was. Yeah. Like, I couldn't get over it. And it's crazy though, because even though I think the 3D photo looks funny, I have this photo of him when he was 12 months, he was sleeping. And he looks exactly like the 3D
Isn't that
photo.
crazy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Eli almost gave us an ear.
Huh?
Never saw his face.
Really?
He never
gave us nothing.
Nope.
That's
the ear. Just an ear.
We only have one for Drew, but not Jay because it was the pandemic, so it wasn't able to do it. But yeah, I was real nervous about that 3D photo.
So the 3D photos are misleading.
Yeah, and it's crazy because my 3D photo of Drew looks more like Jay now than Drew. It's weird,
but they're not like they don't like you can tell they're brothers, but they don't look like, oh my gosh, like those subtle features.
I don't feel like I can't really peg who your sons look like.
Okay, so I feel like Drew, the oldest one, he looks like Jared, and Jay, the youngest one, looks like me.
Jay definitely looks like
Eli. I'm like, he looks like neither one of them, but now I think he looks just like you.
Kendra.
That's I feel like he looks just like you. Yeah.
People say he like sometimes he looks like Jonathan.
Of Jonathan.
Like, I can't see it.
No, there's certain things Eli does with his face. I'm like, ooh, you like your daddy.
It's gotta be a shaped from head to toe like my husband. Broad shoulders, no hips, big eyes, just however, right? So he's shaped like him, but he has more of my face.
Yeah, definitely. Now I 100% just see you.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I couldn't see either one of you, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was great.
I know.
Thank you so much for
Thank you for
kicking it with
having me.
us. Yeah, this was awesome. We can't wait to have you back.
Yes, but remember,
Yes,
the
yeah.
partner
Parenting.
partner parenting.
Yes, that's a whole episode.
Let me patent that.
Yeah, right.
Do that first.
Right. Let us know if we need to hold on.
Right.
Until you patent it.
Right.
All so much for joining us at the Real Mama Pod.
Yes, every Thursday night. Y'all could be anywhere.
But you're hanging out with us.
Yes, and we love it. So, friend, where can they find you?
They can find me anywhere they like. I'm on Instagram at KendraFerg _. And I'm also on Facebook, Kendra Ferguson.
Okay.
What about you?
And you can reach me at DevGrace _ Instagram, TikTok,
Pinterest,
Twitter, all of that at the Real Mama
Pod.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us. If you want to learn more about Kendra and I, you can check out our website where we have Mama merch. Hey, you can see our little sweatshirts.
Right. Yeah. We are wearing our Mama merch.
Yeah, we have sweatshirts, hats, necklaces. We also have Rich Auntie merch. So you can purchase that at www.therealmamapod.com. We're so corny.
I know.